Hello, this is Chase Hutchins, and welcome to Chasing the Crowd on Roundtable Radio. I'm your host, Chase Hutchins, and with us we have a very special guest, Harris Williams.
Hi, I'm Harris. I'm happy to be on here.
He's great to be on here. You know, if you do remember from maybe like a few seasons ago on broadcasting here at EHS, you might remember our famous star, Harris Williams. He also put out some great stuff. I went out and watched a few of his podcast interviews, just a very talented guy here to have today. And welcome back.
Thank you. I'm very excited because I'll be coming back next season for my own podcast.
I cannot wait to watch that. If you're not tuned in on that, then I don't know what you are tuned in on. You should not be here. No, I'm just kidding. We love that you're here. Okay, so today we're going to be doing chips tier ranking. All right, we're going to be basically, debating. We're going to be hearing the best ranked chips, and we're going to be going ahead debating if those are true or not. So let's go and get right into it. What's our first chip, Harris?
At number 1, we have Lay's.
Lay's chips taking the number 1 seed?
Yeah. Personally, I see a lot of my favorites up here, but they're a little lower. Personally, I would have number 4 at maybe, I want to say 2 or 3, but that's just my ranking.
I mean, I'm sorry, but Lay's chips going 1 is just, I didn't know that the majority of the population was 80 years old, Harris. I didn't know that.
They're not my favorite, but I'm not going to hate on them. They're diverse, they're nostalgic, they've been around. They're here for the people who like to eat chips casually.
That's so true. And if you're, I guess I understand where you're coming from. You want to add a little crunch to your sandwich. You put some Lay's chips in there, get that good crunch. It's a solid chip. It's consistent. You know what you're gonna get when you get a Lay's bag of chips. All right, give me another chip.
Here. Number 2, we have Pringles.
Okay, I want to hear what your thoughts are on Pringles before I share my opinion.
As a fan, I grew up loving Pringles. They were a little salty. They always cut my lips. But honestly, having them in your mouth like a duck, greatest memory at lunch. They're salty. They come in the little containers. I could devour a thing of Pringles. I'm not having them at my number 2, but I think they're a great chip-like food.
All right, I'm going to be completely honest with you, and you might heavily disagree with me, but Pringles have just been never within the top 50 of any chip I've ever had. I've never liked Pringles. I've tried 8 different flavors, and, they're just all unbelievably mid. I don't know what it is about the chip. I love the marketing strategy of it coming in that little tube. I think that's awesome, and I get excited to see the tube. But when I get to the chips, I am utterly and completely disappointed. I don't know why. Call me not American, but I cannot do Pringles. I don't know why. Give me another one. Give me another chip.
And number 3, we have Ruffles.
Okay, I love Ruffles. I'm sorry. You're at any Texas barbecue cookout, you already know a bag of Ruffles is going to be there. If they're not there, then I'm sorry. You're at the wrong barbecue. What do you think about Ruffles?
I'm not a huge Ruffles appreciator, but that doesn't mean I hate them. They're not my favorite, but I know they're good, and if I had to, I would eat them.
That's very fair. Again, they're kind of like a Lay's chip, but they're just so nostalgic to me. I think that's why I rank them so high. They're just like a memory. All right, give me another chip.
Coming in at number 4, personally one of my favorites, Doritos.
Oh, I mean, come on.
The shape,
the taste, the color. I mean, it's just.
They're not complex, and that's what makes it a good chip. It's one chip, it's a shape, they're consistent, and they have flavors.
I'm sorry. I just 100% agree with you. I think so many Doritos flavors are something we don't get in our regular chips. Like nacho cheese. I'm sorry. That is just brilliant, and I love it, and it's delicious. And quite frankly, they're nostalgic to my childhood. And so I agree with you. I think Doritos are really higher up on the list for me, too.
Now, personally, I haven't heard of this one. This might be one from up north. Might be for old people. But Her Foods, Inc.
I have not tried that chip. Stillwell, can we get a third man in the back? Sorry, we have our producer over here. Stillwell, what do you think about these chips that you just heard?
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it. Man, that's 3 people who have not heard of it. Call us young. Call us a weird generation. But I'm sorry, that seems pretty irrelevant to me.
Now, personally, I don't know if I would call this a chip. But at number 6, Cheetos.
Oh, that's not a chip. I mean, what do you think about that? I'm sorry.
I think they're great. The orange fingers, the lips turning orange, the tiger. Again, might not be a chip, but it's a snack.
I agree with you. I agree. I don't know if I classify it as a chip, but I am a pretty big fan of Cheetos, and I also love the puff Cheetos. I know those get really messy, but I don't know what it is. It's kind of that little whimsicalness to chips, puffing it up, making it, super like that good crunch, that's what you want to hear when you're chewing on those chips. And so, yeah, I do agree with you. And, give us one more chip before we run out of time.
Speed run this, because some of these I haven't heard of. We got Kettle Foods, Cape Cod, Fritos, which just amazing. I think Fritos are great.
I think Fritos are pretty solid.
Then we have Tostitos,
Funyuns,
Takis, which honestly, I think they're still new to the game.
I think even though they feel like
There's like 3 flavors.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you.
Then we have pop chips. I'm more of a popcorn kind of guy for pop chips.
But I think their pop chips aren't bad though. If you had those salty ones at the airport,
No, they're
mostly air than chips, but still.
Those are good. Then we got Munchos, Frito, Lay's, Ruffles potato chips. Again, I think that just falls another subcategory. Sun chips. At one point, everyone loves a Sun chip.
Of course. I don't know what age you are, but at one point, everyone just cannot get their hands enough on some chips. I agree.
Now, personally, again, I think this is underrated. Miss Vicky's.
Miss Vicky's.
Miss Vicky's sea salt has about 3 ingredients. They're light. They make you feel good because what you're eating is potatoes and salt.
I see where you're coming from, but I don't know if I agree with it completely. But I definitely do see the enjoyment or the aspect that you like out of it. And that's all the time we have here on Chasing the Crowd today. And so I just want to go ahead and thank our guest star, Harris Williams. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. And thank you for our producer, William Stovall. William, if you want to say something, No, well, he's good. All right, but hey, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week on Chasing the Crowd. Au revoir.